If it's knowledge you seek, we've plenty to...
Let me tell you a story.
All right.
Them rumours wet legs were spreading. Might be they weren't just tale. You see, there were a time when I weren't too particular about who I sold steel to. Some women lust after blood, others after flesh, but me... And to satisfy that lust, I sold to opposing armies, stabbed my every client in the back, made myself the most hated woman in the... But then one day, said he'd give me access to a realm-wide community of like-minded individuals in constant need of steel and sundry.
Was that the first time you met Sid?
Aye. He was true to his word, so I ended up being true to mine. And I soon, and all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Told me about his plan to topple the Mother Crew. Said that with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. An opportunity for the likes of me to mint gil. Why, I reckon an enterprising individual could find himself the richest dam in the Twins. And that's when he had me. I emptied my stores, and the rest, as they say, is a dozen years on, and I'm still not the richest dam. Not for lack of but I can say I haven't. You've all shown me there are some things more precious than gil.
That there are.
So don't you go messing it all up. Still alive, are ya? Is that all?
Trouble with your gear, or
What do you want?
should last you a good while. Not my best work, but it'll do. No scratches, all right? Yeah, that should do you. No scratches, all right? You can thank me later.
And?
If it's... knowledge you seek, we've tomes aplenty to guide you.
Cole said it was an army of Akashi.
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are crawling with Akashic?
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. You earned this. Come again. I may have more for you.
How are you doing? Quick look.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
You know what you have to do. Clive, as you know, our time grows short. The Lord Chief Justice's vultures are circling. We must strike now. Before we part, I want you to know that, though I may not always have been your most...
Thank you. But his revenge.
It is the one I found, and it is all that I have lived for since that day.
But what of Lostwing?
I built Lostwing to achieve this aim. Once it is done, my comrades and I are sure of our cause, and we shall fight to the last. But there are those among us who cannot fight. I would place Lostwing in their hands, if I thought it would do them any good. But a village home only to the frail and the infirm is not likely to stay as safe. And so, Clive, will you take them to your hideaway? That they might...
I will.
Thank you. I will not have it. The people I speak of have withdrawn to Gotan's Bales.
Understood.
Then the last of my preparations are complete. And may Griga guide us.
To Gotan's Bales, then, and quickly, before anyone else finds them. Everyone. Quinton, you can no longer guarantee your protection, but I can.
Well, if that's what the Master... Sid, none of us would be standing here today if it weren't for Master Quinton. We owe him our lives. So if he's saying we ain't safe in Lostwing no more, and if that's what has to happen, then so be it. I only hope that we get to see justice done.
I hope so too.
Oi! You lot!
They've gone with Master Quinton.
Fuck!
What's wrong?
I've just come from the Justice's manor. It ain't just the Black Shields protecting the place. He's got a guard dog and all. They don't stand a chance against that thing. They're all gonna fucking die!
No. We can't... Sid! Don't worry, we can't let Quinton die before that...
All right. Where is this manor?
It's way over to the east.
Promise us, Sid. Promise us.
Don't tell me I'm too late. Quentin, are you all right?
No. Which is more than I can say for my... They followed me, without question, all the way.
This must be the guard dog. Quentin. I'll hold it off. You go.
But
Your comrades didn't die for nothing. Don't let their sacrifice be in vain.
I won't.
Come on, then. You're no guard dog. Just a rabid beast that needs to be put down. Nice try. If only we'd arrived earlier. Is it over?
It is. He wept and begged for mercy, just as I dreamed of doing all these years. All my plans, building a haven in Lostwing, free. It was all for the... But what is this? My faithful comrades. All those lives lost.
Quentin.
Master Quentin! Oh,
You're alive.
and so are you. And it's Lostwing.
What? Lostwing. My Lostwing.
And look who's here.
They must have stolen in after we left, just before the flood struck. What if there are still people in there?
Don't be a fool! Damn it. Quentin's not going to last long in there. Come on, Torgal. We need to make this quick. Stay down! Attack! Torgal, kill! Hold on. I'm gonna get you out of here. It's over. Slow. It's over. I need to get back to... Quentin. Quentin. Thank the Founder. He hasn't turned. Welcome back to the land of the living.
Is Lostwing?
The flood has filled.
I see. Then all is at an end. A strange way.
No, Master Quentin.
Why? All that I strove for is gone. I have nothing left to live for.
Well, the heck are you on? You've got us, ain't you? Don't try telling me you only freed us so you could get revenge.
I prayed, and I prayed, and you did. There's got to be a reason for that. Can't we just go back to how it was?
Your work ain't over yet, Master Quint. We believed that you were the right man to lead us, and we still do.
Your village may be lost, so long as you remain to guide them.
But why? Why would anyone follow?
Because we're family.
Family?
Yeah, and all our comrades who went with you, they felt Lostwing weren't just a village.
It was. And as long as we
can start again. Build a new Lostwing, right here in the Bales.
A fresh start. One life ends, why just a village? We could... What's to stop us?
That's the Master Quentin we know.
Please. I am nobody's. Quentin will suffice. After all. Permit me to withdraw my request. I will no longer be needing your help in...
I'll pretend you never asked.
But you must be rewarded for your efforts on our behalf.
A bottle or two of your finest red will suffice.
Of course. Nothing. And I have a feeling that this year's if you don't mind waiting, that is...
I look forward to it.
Clive. Just the man I was hoping to see.
Oh? And why is that?
You remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the Akashic attacked? Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost to an ether flood. Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them, but we ain't got nowhere for them to bed down. Poor buggers are having to make do with haylofts, and I'd build them a new barracks here, but where would I put them? They're just, which leaves us in a bit of a pickle. The people we're counting on to keep us safe are living.
I see.
And it isn't just that lot. There's bears to think. There's been more and more of them turning up lately, but there's only so many we can shelter with the room we can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space. And that's what I was hoping you might help me with. If it ain't...
It's no burden.
Thank you, Clive.
So, where were you thinking of making this new home?
Well, I reckon we could do a...
Eastpool. It's been a long time.
It was a tragedy, what happened, and if any of us could have done anything to stop it, we would have. But what's done is done. And those who lived there wouldn't have wanted the village they loved.
I suppose you're right.
The blight might be pressing in, but I reckon it's got a good few years. There's just one problem. A band of cutthroats have made it their den. And they don't... Nasty bastards they are too. Would have sent someone to clear them out sooner, if my boys didn't already have their hands full. But now we've got a few more guardians of the flame to call on. I reckon it's time.
I do. Eastpool was once home to people I loved. I won't have...
And I know the men will I've already shared a few thoughts with Sir Wade about how we might be able to... And I dare say he's got some ideas of his own too.
Of course. All right, Sir Wade. Let's hear your plan. Sir Wade.
And you, Lord Rossfield. And you.
I spoke with Martha. She tells me you have plans to free Eastpool.
That's right. Though it was mostly her. I rather fear my men have been treading on her toes somewhat since joining. And then there are the bearers. Men and women who found the courage to flee them. We need somewhere to settle them. And I can think of worse places.
As can I. Which is why I agreed to help you win it back.
That's very kind of you. I'd be most grateful. With you beside us, we shall soon send that...
So?
That thankfully there aren't too many of them. Fewer than a dozen, and rather less, thankfully. The road that leads there will more than... A small force would suffice to clear the village. But if the Akashic were to follow them in...
I'll head into Eastpool and deal with the bandits. You and the Guardians can stay outside the village and fend off. Make sure I'm not taken unaware.
I can't ask you to bear all that risk yourself, my lord.
The Akashic are the bigger risk. I can handle a few...
Well, I shall summon my men at once.
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord. You go on ahead.
All right.
We shall see you there.
You think you can just walk in here and kill him?
You will leave Eastpool now, or face the consequences. It's over. That's the end of that, then. Or maybe not. What's that thing doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes too. More surprises?
Bravo. A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching. I thought you were keeping an eye out for a...
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived just in...
Let's hope it was the last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be...
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away.
Of course. I'll send orders for them to depart and leave it with me, my lord.
Home. Without masters.
No. We're the masters now. Our lives are our own at last.
That's all of them. And not a single Akashak in sight. Now to begin the important work of rebuilding the place. It won't be easy. Especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having their wicked way with the place. The masonry might still be sturdy enough, but half the beams are rotted. Those that weren't lost in the fire or burned by the ban. It'll take a bit of elbow grease. But we'll see Eastpool.
So wait. Lady Hannah is, if you don't mind. I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts.
Of course.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more...
And we will, my lord.
Eastpool is in safe hands.
There you are. All went well then. Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept... What's all this about? Some shape-shifting? On second thoughts, don't tell me. It'll only give me nightmares of me own. What matters is you did it. And now...
I suppose it will be.
What else? Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place. But that don't undo...
Did Wade say that?
Well, something along... Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool. But they're working, that's the way I see it. Not if it's food, or lumber, or straw.
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you.
I wanted to.
We're going to do this, will we?
Clive, it just so happens that right at this very...
And what talents would that...
Why, your fearlessness.
I'm listening.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, when these dark skies swept over, Randalar has been particularly badly affected. Many of the none remain free for long, of course, but the army too is in disarray, and finds itself unable to provide for its new charges.
And you've been looking to buy, to make sure these masterless bearers remain that way.
Precisely. It's the perfect opportunity to free dozens more.
So where does my skill with a blade come in?
Though we may have the funds to buy these bearers, so we've been searching for a place, and we believe we have found one. The place...
And so...
How could I refuse?
Excellent. Theo?
Of course.
I'll do my...
You will find a village in Chairdress Thread, past Lateney's...
All right. This must have been a nice place once. It will be again. That's all of them. Come on, Toggle. Something the matter? Quiet.
Those are our terms.
I shall.
Him again.
Someone you know?
Yes, but enough about him.
It's done.
You made quick work of it.
I should go and let Eloise know.
Don't let me... but Clive, don't... She'll only get upset. I'll explain everything once...
All right. Eloise.
Thank you, Clive. Here. Well then, now that you... I suppose we'd better... First thing we'll need to do is make sure our off...
You're still in negotiation?
We are. A trusted colleague has been dealing with the Fist on our behalf, but things have been trickier than we anticipated. I suppose it's to be expected. This is the army we're dealing with. Fight, but we shall emerge victorious.
Well, if you need...
I'm not sure I do.
You wanted to...
The man I was watching earlier, the one he represents the Silver Peak Consortium. It's...
I don't think I've heard of them.
Well, every trader in Dharmekia has. They operate across the length and breadth, and they're still expanding. They've been trying to get Eloise to join, and judging by her reaction earlier, I'd say...
And you'd rather she didn't?
I would rather she did what makes her happy, and I would never deny her such an opportunity. Eloise saved me from slavery, and we have striven to save others like me. But this was not the life my sister wanted. I won't let her give up on her dreams again for my... She freed me from my bonds, and she must be freed from hers.
You're a good man, Theo.
I have always been grateful for what my sister did for me. and I want to repay. But each time an opportunity to do just that arises, she turns it.
She loves you.
And I love her. Which is why I want this time to be different. To show her, though I'm sure I'll still need some help from...
Always.
Thank you, Clive. Well then, these bearers aren't... That's a job for the crim...
Cole said it was an army of Akashi.
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are crawling with it?
still.
Slow, not leaving. Look good.
Ready?
Your work here is done.
The free cities and the sea?
You're on my side, Molbol. Too slow.
Help me, boy. Garuda!
There's a good boy. Nice try. Too slow. Nice with the leader of the pack, eh, boy? Run like the wind. You deserve a rest. That's like no chocobo I've ever seen. Something tells me it won't be easily broken. Nice try. It's over. Poor beast. There was nothing I could do.
Cole said it was an army of Akashic.
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are crawling with Akashic in the valleys of...
How may I help you today, Clive? All yours. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Clive? Where the hell is everyone else?
They're all right. But it's...
You lot don't do things by halves, do you? Well, at least everyone's still breathing. Now, as for these writings, I'm sorry to say, Clive, but if you had those, you'd be...
Sitting under a pile of rubble, I know.
But we were able to save a few bits and pieces from the ruins, most of which ended up being used to build this place. The more personal items we gave to the next of kin. In the case of Sid's things, that would have been mid.
Then I'll check the workshop.
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone, then... Do you think Mid's ship will ever sail?
This looks like it's from Sid's old diary. I'd better keep looking. What do we have here? Oh. Sid's pipes. Something tells me Mid won't be needing these.
We've had no word from Canva for days. Please tell me Mid is all right.
That leather loosener was only the first of the discoveries the Olympics gonna help us make.
I remember seeing this doll in Sid's hut. Huh. What's this tucked inside it? Sid's best invention. So Sid hid something in Mid's first opus. But what would that be? Perhaps Otto might know.
Well,
possibly. You wouldn't happen to know what Mid's first opus was?
Opus? That girl's as tone deaf as a banshee. Unless you mean the orchestrion. She couldn't have been more than, what, 11, 12 when she cobbled that thing together? It surprised us all. Not least her dad. What's that battered old box have to do with anything?
I think Sid may have hidden some.
Wouldn't surprise me. Those two and their bloody treasure hunts. Half the things in the hideaway were hidden one time or another.
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are
I didn't break it. Well, I didn't break it.
What didn't you break?
Nothing. We didn't break nothing. We definitely didn't break the orchestrion.
What's wrong with it?
It's broken. Except when it isn't. See?
And you had nothing to do with this?
Nope. We just wanted to listen to all, so we pressed all the buttons. Like this. See?
All right. Something caught on one of the gears.
Did you break it? Can you fix it?
No, I mean, yeah, yes. There.
Sid fixed it! He more than fixed it! Yeah! New music!
Huh. Nope.
They started playing when I removed this. Whatever it is.
Well, don't look at me. I can tell you it's important, though. Sid showed it to me once and said as much. Said it was the stuff dreams were made of. Let's just hope it's the stuff ships are made of as well.
Indeed. Let's see if we can make some dreams come true.
Just the two I was looking for.
Aye. Who's it?
Actually, yes. The Crown Prince just left.
Dion left?
Unless you've another word for stood up and walked off. Yeah, he did have the decency to leave a message with Obelisk before commandeering one of his dinghies.
No. We're not the Prince's keepers.
I'd rather he did so in bed. Much like yours, I suspect. Otto told me what happened in Canver. What is it with this realm's...
Ask me when I get back. Though I may be sometime.
Then at least try to stay safe.
And if that fails, try to stay alive, eh?
Every moment I waste here, the further the flagship sails. I have to get back.
Cole said it was an army of Akashi.
All right, Clive. Blackthorn told me you helped him out again. It's half of that.
Speaking of which, I'm actually a bit,
Worried about him. And you want my advice?
afraid so. It's a bit of a funny one, this, but I saved this posh knob while I was out on a mission, and he gave me this flashy ring to say thank you. So, obviously, I show it to Blackthorn, thinking he'll be impressed, only for him to go white as a sheet and quiet as a curl instead. Try as I might, I can't for the life of me work out what could have got him upset like that. And seeing as how Blackthorn opens up when you're around, I thought maybe...
I'd speak to him again. Well, I suppose there's no point leaving him to stew.
Cheers, Clive.
I'll be sure to pay him a visit as soon as I have a moment.
All right, I'll meet you by the forge then. You come along when you're ready.
She can't kick. Glory to Griga. There you are. And not a moment too soon.
What's happened?
Taya's busy working herself into an early grave. Since the arrival of her latest patient, she's refused to stop, even for a moment. I've tried offering to see to him in her stead, but she won't hear of it. Clive, she hasn't left the infirmary in days. She's pushing herself too hard. And if she doesn't rest soon, will you talk to her? Order her to her chambers if that's what it takes. Because if she keeps this up, I fear the hideaway will be without its best physica before too long.
I know better than to order Taya to do anything. But I'll speak to her.
Thank you. I pray you have better luck than I did.
Well, Taya, Rodriguez worried about you. And if what he says is true, then so am I. We all admire your dedication, but you do need to rest.
I will, when it's time. Until then, I'm staying put. We owe him that much.
Who is he?
Someone from my past. Someone who doesn't deserve to die alone. It won't be much longer. The crystal's curse has almost finished its work. If I had the tears, I could ease his passing. But without them, we've nothing that will touch the agony of those last few hours.
How would tears help this man?
Not my tears. Tears of mercy.
You wouldn't, Ty. There must be something we can do.
Sometimes an easy death is the greatest kindness we can... You do well to remember that, Rodriguez.
We have all the ingredients we need for Alicia Balwam. It needs to be fresh, though, so we rarely have much to hand. I can make the draft if you...
Just tell me what you need.
There is a species of venom-weeping spider that lives in the forests of Norvent, near Lorbert's Park. Bring me one of their eyes. Preserve it as best you can, but avoid... I'll make sure the other ingredients are ready before you return.
Thank you, Clive. I won't forget this.
He's a surly soaker.
Sid, do you recall the flowers I had you bring?
Vaguely.
I'm afraid so. I was able to get most. I fear the soil here does not agree with them. However, I believe.
I can't wait to.
I'm going to marry the Morganbeards with Molbols. I know. Molbols are possessed of a highly choleric temperament. The fire which drives them appears to be maintained by I believe that by grafting a Molbol vine to a Morganbeard, the appendage's wealth of vigor and youth. The endeavor, I assure you, is scientifically sound. I simply need a vine to prove.
And all you need is a single vine from an...
That is correct. As for the Molbol, I fear ordinary may not suffice. Why, a notice concerning this very creature was...
How timely.
Well, I shan't keep you any longer. I know you have...
If it's knowledge you seek,
Bloody hell, Clive.
That remains to be... August tells me he showed you a ring and that the sight of it clearly upset you.
Come on, mate. Bottling it up ain't gonna help no one. If it weren't the ring, and it was something...
It was the ring, right? It brought back some unhappy memories, that's all.
Memories of what?
There are things we'd all rather leave behind, Blackthorn.
And sometimes it doesn't. Is that so odd?
Don't be like that.
Fine. If it'll get you off my back. That ring you flashed was the work we apprenticed together back in the day.
You've never mentioned him before.
Why would I? Ain't seen him in decades, and the last time I did, we almost came to blows. The ring brought it all back. I could tell it was one of his. The bastards improved, though. More than I thought possible.
So it was a nice ring. Worth a few gil, mate.
It matters, because engraving metal's a nightmare, and I've got no bloody idea how he managed it. The fact is...
So what?
I'm the Hideaway's master craftsman. I'm not stealing a living at some backwater village forge. My armor keeps you lot safe, and my swords keep you dangerous. As far as I'm concerned, every swing of my hammer's another blow struck in the name of our cause. So I put my heart and soul into my work, because the curse breakers deserve better than second, and I refuse to be shown up by the likes of...
Very well. Why don't we go and pay him a visit?
I doubt he'd be too happy to...
Then just this once, swallow your pride, and for keeping the curse breakers armed, and provided you can do that, you'll hear no complaints from me. But if you...
What'd you say, Blackthorn? It's not like you'll be going to...
All right.
Magic. So, where do you reckon old what's-his-name...
In Dravost, my old village.
Dravost, eh? That rings just north of the fields of Carava. Got that, Clive? Meet us at Dravost, and I'll make sure Blackthorn don't get cold feet.
Good luck with that.
Cole said it was an army of Akashi.
right then. Nice try. That was definitely anything but ordinary. Rodriguez could have mentioned his spiders would be the size of curls.
The free cities under siege?
Ready, go? Faster! Surrounded. Kicked out already?
No. This charmer ain't letting anyone through.
Why are the gates closed?
Chief's orders. Not that I'd have let you in anyway. You look like trouble. I suggest you go home.
That's what I'm trying to do, you little prick. Ain't changed a bit, have you, Snotty?
No.
Long time no see, eh?
What the hell are you doing here?
Well, it was meant to be a surprise. I'm here to see Zoltan, you fucking numbskull. Now,
All right. Just...
Yeah, I promise I won't throw the first punch. Like...
Go on, then.
Much obliged.
So this is Dravosht. Not much going on, is there?
It's a smithing town. When I was a lad, you'd have to shout to be heard over the... Clive, you're good with people. You speak...
Hey, you ain't back...
There's a river of bad blood between me and... But if someone can build me a bridge...
All right.
I appreciate it. It'll be near the forge on the hill. It was our master's. He'd have inherited it when I left.
Forge on the hill.
Good luck.
But if we can't find a full... Jizz, how are we going to earn our keep?
Mama,
hotter. Hotter, damn it. Those miserable flames wouldn't melt butter, let alone iron.
Pardon the intrusion.
That'd be me.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'll bet it'd keep the gates closed, I tell him. Well done. You're not welcome here. Get out.
Blackthorn's here.
What did you say?
He's traveled a long way to see you. He's waiting.
Then I suggest...
Didn't you apprentice?
So what if we did?
Fuck! We're getting nowhere. These bearers' flames are next to bloody useless.
We're never going to be able to fire up the forges unless we can find some new...
I'm a busy man, as you can see, so do me a favor. Oh, and if you're struggling, the prick knows exactly where... He's not wanted here.
All right.
Let me guess. Zoltan told you to...
As a personal favor to him, yes.
Well, at least he didn't beat about the bush.
There'll be no talking him round. Not after what I did.
Which is what exactly? If we're to help, we need to know. What turned the village against you?
I left. Dravozd. Zoltan. The burden of leadership our dying master dropped in our laps. All of it. There are two kinds of smiths in this world, you see. My kind, who are in it for the love of the craft, who labour on a single piece from dawn to dusk to get it just right. And the other kind, who are in it for different reasons. People like Zoltan, whose work is quick and cheap. The kind of smiths who shit out a few hundred blades, reap the profit, and divvy it out among themselves. There wasn't a single day we weren't at each other's throats. And bit by bit, people started taking sides. You would have torn Dravozd in half had it gone on. So, I left.
You didn't have to do that.
Zoltan's a better chief than I would have been. His way of doing things kept until the...
It depends on how you look at it, though. There's got to be other ways of making fire. We manage it in the Deadlands.
Thanks to Sid's ingenuity, he saw all of this coming. Knew crystals were the problem, not the solution. And spent...
You know what I mean, though, right? Where there's a whip... What I'm trying to say is that it's not your fault.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is. I don't want to be the greatest smith alive just because I happen to be the last. Clive, Dravozd won't last long without Zone. Do you think it the way I see it?
Hold on, Blackfoot. Sid made those things for us. They give us and you'd be throwing it away.
All right. This place was your home. Sid's creations were never meant to be hoarded. It was only ever a let this be another. Dravozd will show the world that it's possible. Wouldn't you agree, Org?
Of course.
Thank you, Clive.
Shall I go and fetch the plans, then?
I know I'm off by heart. I'll be needing some help, though. Building a furnace isn't exactly a one-man job. Do us a favour and round up anyone strong enough to lug a brick or two, would you, August?
All right.
And I've got a job for you too, Clive. I need leather for the bellows and nothing else will withstand the heat. Luckily for us, Salaman.
Time for a spot of hunting, then. Come on.
Yeah!
Let's make this quick, shall we? You deserve a rest. This won't be easy. I dare say that will be enough.
What's this all about then?
Don't know. Any trouble finding the skin?
Nothing I couldn't handle.
Right then. Time to put everyone pulls their weight. We'll be finished.
Well, I'll be damned. I honestly didn't think it'd work. But it's hot.
You know what this means, don't you?
I do, yeah?
Sorry about it. That thing you built us is... You saved our village.
It's Blackthorn you should be thanking. He oversaw the What is it?
Pit coal cinders. After he left, I spent years trying to... That there was my answer. Chuck it in the fire, and your forge will burn hotter for longer, which will do wonders for your... Our secret for yours. Only fair. I've always envied Black... Since the day I became chief, I spent every spare moment. No amount of sleepless nights at the anvil will ever bridge that gap, though. He's a genius, but he took all his talent and left. Is it any wonder I hate his guts?
The cinders would mean more coming from you.
I need to forgive him first, and that's not good.
Well, you know what they say. These things take time. Especially when they involve two geezers who hold grudges tighter than their hammers. But what matters is, Blackthorn's got that twinkle back in his eye. I reckon he's going to be at it a while yet, though, so why don't you head off without us? I'll see that the old...
See that you both do.
All right. It'll be a night.
Cole said it was an army of Akashi.
Thank goodness you're back. Taya looks like she's about to collapse.
Is this what you needed?
Yes, it is. I'm loath to give a patient Alicia, but Taya's right. Sometimes it's all we can do. A single dose, though, it may be a gentle way to die, but I wish there was another way.
How are you feeling?
Light, mid-here. Drifting on waves.
Good. Just relax. Let the waves carry you to a better place.
Thank you, Taya. I'm so proud of you.
He's gone. Thank you, Rodrigo. And you, Clive?
I'll see that he's properly laid to rest.
The man you helped today was my mentor.
back in the Southern Isles, on the front lines of some meaningless war. I was still a child when they shipped me to their triage tents, to treat the wounded with my gift. But in such blighted lands, I was next to useless. Until he taught me the true physicker's art, that is.
An art we would be lost without.
Tears of mercy were his gift to the bearers of the world. A respite from the agony of the curse's end.
And a kindness Sid would have approved of.
You know as well as I what life is like for a bearer soldier. Marched from one battle to the next, never knowing which might be your last. A commander may care nothing for the bearer spent in his service. But my mentor's gift gave the dying one fleeting moment of tranquility before the end. I've no tears left, Clive. I've seen too many of my friends taken. Something needs to change. And we need to be the ones to change it.
And we will. I promise.
I hope so.
Gentlemen, I see you both made it.
Yeah, well, we didn't want the whole village turned out for a go on the bellows after you left. Everyone except Zoltan has.
Oh, but that reminds me.
Pick old Cinder. How'd you come by this? And you're sure he wanted...
I'm sure. You didn't say so.
Yeah. You know I could never leave this place. Every time you put on mail, you and the curse breakers, there's no greater honor for us. I'm not about to go crawling back to Zoltan for forgiveness, but I will make good use. And if that helps save even a single life... What was it you said he called me? Huh? A genius? And he spent sleepless nights. Sounds like I better get to work. I've got a...
It's good to see you back on form, Blackfall.
I don't know how you pair put up with me. I'm grateful. Now, where was I?
Ain't got the art to tell him how similar they are. Stubborn.
A little healthy competition should be...
You're not wrong. It's a shame him and Zoltan couldn't let bygone. No use grumbling about it now, though. Blackthorn's happy. Or as near to happy as he get.
So, what'll it be? No scratches, all right? And?
He's a surly soaker.
Sid, Here. What an amazing specimen. The flesh positively When I successfully graft this to the Morgan... It is just as I hoped. Witness how the Morganbeards have taken to the blighted soil. How they bloom with heretofore unseen vigor. Why, I dare say such a vine graft would yield similar results when applied to other specimens as well.
I'm glad I could be of assistance.
You've not only helped us, Sid. Do you recall the extract with which I provide? I took a moment to distill some more, but this time with a... You must accept this vial as thanks for your assistance.